They don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
No padlock on my house. Ain't nobody never took no car. I still own all my houses, still own all my cars.
Respect.
Still got all my faculty, still sharp, still smart.
Floyd Mayweather has made a lot of money in his career. It appears he also owes a lot of money too. The boxer apparently owes $22.2 million in taxes from 2015. According to ESPN, the tax balance was unpaid as recently as March 6th.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is widely considered among the most accomplished fighters in boxing history. His dominance inside the ring built an unmatched reputation, while his life beyond boxing has often drawn equal attention. Known for his extravagant spending, massive wealth, and ongoing controversies, he has remained a constant presence in the public eye for years. However, in 2025, a surprising development added a new layer to the story of the legendary boxer. Reports emerged suggesting that the Federal Bureau of Investigation had uncovered information during several investigations that some observers claim could threaten Mayweather's long-standing image of success and influence. As these claims began circulating, Mayweather publicly responded, and his reaction quickly spread across social media. The response fueled widespread discussion, drawing attention from audiences around the world and igniting debates filled with speculation, controversy, and curiosity.
But I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match. All right, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Before examining the investigation and the alleged evidence uncovered by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, it's important to look at the background of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the circumstances that shaped his public image. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mayweather stepped into the professional boxing world in 1996. Within just a few years, particularly by the early 2000s, he had already built a reputation as one of the sport's most gifted and technically sharp fighters. His perfect record, precise defensive skills, and calculated approach inside the ring made him an extremely difficult opponent for anyone he faced. These qualities helped cement his status as a dominant figure in boxing. At the same time, his journey was often surrounded by controversy. His lavish lifestyle and various legal issues frequently attracted public attention, keeping his name in headlines beyond the sport itself. Even with these challenges, his fights consistently generated enormous revenue, turning him into one of the highest-earning athletes in the world. Over time, however, discussions about his financial achievements were often accompanied by reports about legal troubles. Accusations involving domestic violence, along with concerns about certain business activities, repeatedly placed the boxing star under intense public scrutiny.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example, I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
Yes.
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. He became the villain.
The situation reportedly escalated when the Federal Bureau of Investigation began examining the financial activities connected to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Authorities were said to be reviewing his monetary records, business operations, and possible associations with groups suspected of organized criminal activity. According to reports, the inquiry continued for several months and looked into different areas of Mayweather's financial life. Investigators examined documents such as tax filings, money transfers, and the companies linked to his name. Central to the investigation were claims of unusual financial patterns that allegedly occurred during the previous decade. Although Mayweather had accumulated enormous wealth through his boxing career, investigators reportedly noticed inconsistencies in the way portions of that income were handled. Findings from the inquiry suggested the presence of questionable transfers involving substantial sums of money. These funds were allegedly routed through overseas accounts and connected to businesses that authorities believed had links to criminal networks. One of the most concerning discoveries reportedly involved multiple offshore bank accounts believed to be used to move or conceal large amounts of earnings. Tracing these accounts led investigators to organizations that had previously been associated with unlawful activities, raising doubts about the transparency of some of Mayweather's finances. In addition, forensic accounting specialists working on the case reportedly identified irregularities within his tax documentation. These inconsistencies led to suspicions that millions of dollars in taxes might not have been properly paid.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
Which account? Which bank?
You have more than one account?
Absolutely.
I don't even have one account. Give me the amount of money you have in one of your accounts.
200 million, 300 million.
Dollars?
Yeah, in different accounts.
Stephen A. Smith spoke bluntly about the situation, claiming he had reviewed relevant records and spoken with individuals familiar with the matter. Looking directly into the camera, he stated that Floyd Mayweather Jr. could be facing serious financial challenges. According to Smith, Mayweather is reportedly dealing with a multi-million-dollar lien from the Internal Revenue Service. He also claimed that the boxer had borrowed money using several of his properties as collateral and had fallen behind on multiple years of tax payments. Smith further explained that several of Mayweather's business ventures had struggled or collapsed, leaving him involved in legal disputes with investors who are now pursuing lawsuits. Another claim that drew attention was the suggestion that Mayweather had quietly begun selling off valuable possessions. Reports indicated that rare luxury vehicles and expensive jewelry were allegedly being liquidated in an effort to manage growing financial obligations. Smith highlighted what he described as a noticeable change in Mayweather's public behavior. In the past, the boxer frequently spoke about his extravagant spending, sometimes boasting about millions of dollars spent in a single day. Recently, however, Smith noted that Mayweather had become unusually quiet regarding his finances, which he suggested could signal deeper issues. The contrast between his previous displays of wealth and his current silence has led some observers to question whether the well-known Money Mayweather image accurately reflects his current financial position. Concerns involving Mayweather and the Internal Revenue Service are not entirely new. In 2017, he attracted attention after requesting a delay in paying taxes owed from 2015 until after his highly anticipated bout with Conor McGregor. At the time, he stated that he lacked sufficient liquid funds despite his massive earnings. The request was widely viewed as a strategic financial move, but some insiders now claim it may have hinted at larger financial complications behind the scenes.
You can trust the news. There's no such thing as fake. I'm working for ESPN. We're broadcasting the Mayweather-McGregor fight live. And to this day, they will tell you that's the record. That's the biggest fight ever. That thing was sold out. That place was, people were dressed up as empty seats. And I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out because that's what's on the screen. And I go, it's not even close. Yeah. This isn't like, oh, it's pretty much full. This isn't, there's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match.
Well, I mean, it's such two big draws. They promoted it so well.
All anybody's talking about.
Yeah, there's still a number.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big a draw is, there's still a number. If this guy got 100 million, this guy got 100 million, then you got to advertise it, promote it. You got to bring.
It's the guarantees that kill everything. If they were just getting percentages, then obviously everybody.
You're saying the seats were empty. I can understand it not making the money, but the seats being empty seems seems
peculiar.
Crazy.
Yeah, and there's nothing in the world where you have a pay-per-view hit that didn't have a live audience hit. Like if your live audience is your first focus group, isn't sold out, you didn't do pay-per-view numbers.
Sure.
But boxing will still claim that to this day. They still to this day claim that that's number one. And if you want to be the biggest pay-per-view in boxing history, all you have to do is claim it.
Stephen A. Smith later reported what he described as one of the most serious financial developments surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. According to information discussed on ESPN, official records suggested that the boxer allegedly owed more than $52 million in unpaid taxes covering a 7-year period from 2015 through 2022. That the size of the reported debt stunned many in the sports industry, as well as financial observers, not only because of the massive amount, but also because the issue had reportedly stayed out of the public spotlight for years. Smith stated that the Internal Revenue Service had already begun taking firm measures. According to his report, certain bank accounts within the United States connected to Mayweather had been frozen, while authorities had initiated a deeper examination into the path of his assets. Individuals familiar with the federal inquiry reportedly said this step went beyond a standard attempt to recover unpaid taxes. Instead, it was described as a broad effort aimed at tracing where Mayweather's funds had been moved and identifying which assets could potentially be recovered to settle the outstanding obligations. Financial expert Chris One also commented on the situation, explaining that actions of this scale from the tax authority usually signal a very serious case. He noted that when unpaid taxes reach extremely high levels, the agency does far more than simply send notices. According to Juan, investigators typically begin reviewing nearly every aspect of a person's finances. That can include examining bank activity, auditing transactions, and tracking valuable property such as jewelry, vehicles, and real estate holdings. But he added that individuals facing debts of this magnitude often encounter intense financial oversight. Not only is their present income monitored, but previous earnings, spending habits, and even money given to relatives or acquaintances may be reviewed. In situations like this, nearly every financial move can attract attention from the tax authorities.
Well, there may be another reason Floyd Mayweather has agreed to fight Conor McGregor. ESPN reporting that Mayweather, get this, still has not paid his taxes for 2015. We don't know how much money Mayweather owes, but he's asking the IRS for a break. Until the fight, the end of August, Mayweather made about $220 million from his fight with Manny Pacquiao. That was back in 2015. He's expected to make about that much for the McGregor fight. Maybe he should have stayed retired and paid his taxes.
Yeah, paying taxes, usually that catches up with you if you don't do that.
Long before Floyd Mayweather Jr. fully embraced the famous money persona, complete with diamond-covered watches, collections of exotic cars, and social media posts displaying large amounts of cash, there were already indications that his financial foundation might not have been as stable as it appeared to the public. Mayweather's undefeated record and bold confidence were captivating. However, reports suggested that behind the scenes, he was encountering the same financial risks experts often warn about, maintaining a level of spending that could be difficult to sustain, even with enormous fight earnings. During the late 2010s, stories began circulating that despite earning more than $300 million from his blockbuster bout with Conor McGregor, Mayweather still owed millions of dollars in unpaid taxes to the Internal Revenue Service. The situation puzzled many observers. The athlete, widely known for promoting himself as the wealthiest figure in sports, was simultaneously dealing with serious tax obligations that could carry severe consequences. The brand built around the money image played a complicated role in this dynamic. On one side, the persona helped generate massive revenue through sponsorships, pay-per-view sales, and record-breaking fight purses. At the same time, it created pressure to constantly display extreme wealth and luxury, reinforcing the image of limitless spending power. Amid growing financial pressure and the possibility of legal consequences, reports indicated that Mayweather even borrowed around $2 million to cover a portion of his outstanding tax debt. The move raised concerns among financial analysts, as it suggested the issue was not simply about managing investments or diversified wealth. Although the loan helped address a small part of the obligation, it did little to significantly reduce the total amount owed. For some observers, the situation revealed a troubling possibility that while Mayweather possessed enormous assets, he may have been facing serious limitations when it came to accessible cash.
Eric B. were at, from Eric B. and Rakim, we were at the Mondrian. Floyd Mayweather was there. He had some tax issues. He was about to go to jail, but that's before Money Mayweather, that's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Got you.
He was speaking to E. he needed a couple of $1 million to stay out of jail. I called my man Neil, who I was rocking with heavy. He owns Scrutiny, the hair accessory company. Everybody thought I was crazy. Said, yo, loan me $2 million. I want to sign Floyd. He flew out, loaned me the $2 million, and from there on, we were in the boxing.
According to reports, the earlier financial issues were not a one-time event, but rather the beginning of a larger pattern. Observers claimed that Floyd Mayweather Jr. often relied on his celebrity status and the expectation of future earnings to address immediate financial pressures. Instead of focusing on building a long-term financial structure, he continued maintaining a lifestyle defined by extreme luxury. He reportedly owned several large homes in cities such as Las Vegas, Nevada, and Miami, Florida, acquired customized private jets, and filled garages with high-end vehicles from brands like Bugatti, Ferrari, and Rolls-Royce. Critics say that while these displays reinforced his image of immense wealth, they may have distracted from core financial responsibilities such as tax obligations, business liabilities, and long-term investments. Many financial analysts now argue that prioritizing the appearance of wealth rather than protecting it may have contributed significantly to the challenges he is reportedly facing today. Publicly, the lifestyle looked unstoppable. His inner circle applauded the extravagance, and social media followers watched with fascination as he showcased expensive purchases and lavish experiences. Yet behind the scenes, some insiders claim his financial stability was gradually weakening. Each highly publicized display of spending appeared to widen the gap between public perception and financial reality. Reports also suggested that gambling played a role in his spending habits. Mayweather has long been known for placing sports bets, sometimes reportedly wagering tens of thousands of dollars each week and, on occasion, risking hundreds of thousands in a single night. While he occasionally shared stories about winning bets, losses were rarely discussed. Combined with a large team supporting his lifestyle, bodyguards, assistants, drivers, chefs, stylists, and other staff, the total expenses could rise quickly, illustrating how even vast earnings can diminish rapidly when spending remains extremely high.
The money I still got, the jewels I still got, the cars I still got, the mansions I still got. You either motivate it or you hate it. Either or, it doesn't matter. Walk with me, let's talk. I got 9 toys right here. I got the 488 Ferrari. I got the Maybach or the Maybach, whatever you want to call it. I got 7 Rolls Royces right here. I like to call it Lucky 7. So you either motivate it or you hate it. My lifestyle, Money Man. I'm the Money Man. Remember that.
What makes the situation particularly surprising to many observers is that the reported financial strain surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. was not caused by a shortage of income. Instead, critics argue that the problem stemmed from weak financial planning and an unwillingness to reduce spending, even when circumstances called for it. Over the years, the money image that became closely associated with Mayweather seemed to create pressure to maintain a certain level of extravagance. Some analysts suggest that this reputation made it difficult for him to scale back his lifestyle, even when doing so might have protected his long-term finances. In some cases, maintaining that public image reportedly meant relying on expected future earnings to support present-day spending. This pattern of aggressive spending and questionable financial choices is said to have played a role in the more recent scrutiny involving the Federal Bureau of Investigation. According to claims tied to leaked materials and statements from alleged informants, certain assets Mayweather described as readily available may actually have been tied up in loans or valued far higher than their true worth. In practical terms, investigators believed some of his wealth projections were based on income that had not yet been earned, business opportunities that had not fully developed, and the expectation that his brand would continue generating large amounts of money indefinitely. When federal authorities reportedly began examining his financial records more closely, they did not only identify potential tax inconsistencies. Investigators also claimed to have found indications of business arrangements that raised questions about how funds were being managed in order to maintain ongoing cash flow.
Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
For years, media organizations, financial experts, and figures within the boxing world had questioned some of the financial choices made by Floyd Mayweather Jr. However, a surprising statement from someone who once belonged to his inner circle brought the discussion to a new level of public attention. That person was 50 Cent, who had previously maintained both a personal and professional relationship with Mayweather. Their connection extended beyond friendship. They had collaborated on promotional projects, attended major boxing events together, and moved within the same high-profile social circles. Because of that history, many people paid close attention when Jackson publicly criticized Mayweather's financial habits. In an interview clip that quickly spread across social media platforms, he openly claimed that the boxing star had spent enormous amounts of money on luxuries, such as jewelry, private jets, gambling, and nightlife. What made the remarks particularly striking was not just the accusation itself, but the source. The comments did not come from a reporter or a former employee with a grievance. Instead, they came from someone who had previously spent significant time around Mayweather and was familiar with his lifestyle. During a segment of a now widely circulated interview on YouTube, Jackson described what he portrayed as a consistent pattern of excessive spending that had become part of Mayweather's everyday life. According to reports, that same pattern of financial behavior has also been referenced in the broader inquiry reportedly being conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation into Mayweather's financial activities.
I believe that Floyd Mayweather has gone completely broke. And not just broke, but millions and millions of dollars in debt. And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but trust me, I have legitimate proof. Watch this.
He asked me to help him, so I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation is invalid. So I could actually, technically, it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because it's just not. I just said it, and he won't be able to figure out that I could do that.
Damn, you and this guy, man. I thought y'all was good again.
We are good. I just don't understand why he having the conversation. How am I coming up with conversation? I don't even...
According to 50 Cent, the issue went beyond simple overspending. It was rooted in mindset. He described Floyd Mayweather Jr. as someone who regularly spent millions as if there were no limits, showing little regard for taxes, long-term investments, or available cash. Jackson recounted instances, such as spending $1 million in a single night at a Las Vegas nightclub, wagering six-figure sums on seemingly random NBA games, or buying $300,000 watches he didn't truly need. For him, the problem wasn't just the purchases themselves, but the performance and spectacle of spending, which had become an obsession. What made these comments especially striking was how they conflicted with a carefully constructed public image Mayweather had cultivated. For years, he had presented himself as untouchable, a figure whose dominance in the ring translated to invincibility in life. The money team persona had come to symbolize extravagant wealth and opulence. Jackson's candid statements, however, suggested a very different reality. A man striving to uphold a glamorous facade while privately facing mounting financial pressures. These revelations gained attention at a time when the Federal Bureau of Investigation was already reportedly examining Mayweather for possible financial misconduct, adding context and urgency to the claims.
Oh, what they're doing.
So there's still some static.
No, it only happens when it's time. It's time to build some type of energy or some sort of press. Right. It's time to make a and then that happens.
So through the BX Fight Club, you met someone,
Isaac, right? Because they had to legalize it on paper to turn it into like a dark show, like when they don't have television involved with a boxing event. Even Floyd, like when you make yourself like we got issues or you're angry, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
All that money?
And it's been 2 years.
Day to day, month to month, like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Wow.
Now, obviously, this is 50, so we have to take everything he says with a grain of salt, but that sounded pretty credible to me. Now, without trying to give away who it is, I have met someone who is directly within the Floyd Mayweather circle, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, he spins like an absolute madman. And I'm not just talking about a mansion and some sports cars. I mean multiple mansions, multiple cars, and not even just different cars, because he does have a bunch of different sports cars.
By the beginning of 2025, Floyd Mayweather Jr. appeared to be under mounting pressure, not only from the intensifying scrutiny of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but also from a public perception that was increasingly critical of him. In what seemed like an attempt to improve his public image, Mayweather announced a substantial charitable contribution, reportedly donating to multiple homeless shelters in Los Angeles, California. The story quickly spread across sports and entertainment news, presenting the boxer in a rare light as a philanthropist, a figure using his vast resources to help others. For a short period, it seemed the narrative might be shifting in his favor. However, the positive attention was short-lived. Soon after the announcement, observant fans and media outlets noticed a striking inconsistency. Around the same time his charitable activities were said to be taking place in Los Angeles, Mayweather had shared images and videos from Dubai showcasing his continued extravagant lifestyle abroad. The post displayed him surrounded by gold-plated accessories, dining at high-end resorts, and relaxing in luxurious suites. The contrast between the claimed charitable work in California and the opulence he was publicly displaying in Dubai was impossible for audiences to overlook, casting doubt on the timing and authenticity of his philanthropy.
Now this comes amid, rumors of Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai because he owes people money. And, these are coming from trustworthy sources, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, people who know about Floyd Mayweather's inner life. But back to TMZ. So they reported Floyd Mayweather was courtside for last night's pivotal Clippers versus Mavericks game, but before money got to the arena, he was handing it out, blessing 3 homeless men with $30K. Now, there are no pictures, there is no video of this happening, but there is an official TMZ article, and TMZ usually gets it right. TMZ also said, we're told Mayweather began talking to the guys and decided he wanted to help, so he busted out his backpack and blessed each guy with 10 racks. This is the only photo they have of Floyd Mayweather being at the game. And once again, this comes as everyone is saying he is stuck in Dubai. There isn't any other photos of Floyd Mayweather in the United States except for this one photo. And then we have another article saying this week TMZ and Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked claimed Floyd had been spotted in LA passing out money to homeless people and attending the Clippers game. But then Floyd posted on Instagram and Instagram stories that he was still in Dubai. It says, after Jason Lee shared a picture of Floyd sitting courtside at the Clippers game, Floyd posted a picture of himself geotagged in Dubai, and I believe this is one of Floyd Mayweather's most recent Instagram posts right here. It also says he then shared videos on Instagram stories of his Dubai.
So what's your take? Could it be that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has finally encountered a challenge outside the boxing ring that he can't simply fight his way out of? Share your thoughts in the comments and let the discussion begin.